Stop trying to be nice to everyone. And before you misunderstand that, I'm not telling you to become cruel. I'm not telling you to disrespect people. I'm not telling you to become selfish, arrogant, or heartless. I'm telling you to stop confusing being a good person with being available to everyone. Because there's a difference between kindness and people pleasing. There's a difference between being respectful and being afraid to say no. There's a difference between having a good heart and allowing people to take advantage of it. And if you don't understand that difference, you'll spend years exhausting yourself trying to keep everyone happy while quietly becoming unhappy yourself. You will say yes when you want to say no. You'll apologize when you did nothing wrong. You'll stay quiet when someone crosses a line. You'll help people who wouldn't do the same for you. You'll keep giving chances to people who keep repeating the same behavior. You'll explain yourself to people who don't care enough to understand. And you'll call all of it being nice. No, sometimes it's fear. Fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of being misunderstood, fear that people will leave if you stop doing everything for them, and you need to stop living like that. Because you cannot build a strong life while constantly betraying yourself to keep other people comfortable. Read that again. You cannot build a strong life while constantly betraying yourself to keep other people comfortable. There comes a point where being nice becomes self-neglect. You keep saying yes, and your own priorities keep getting pushed aside. You keep helping everyone, and nobody is helping you. You keep listening to everyone's problems, and nobody asks how you're doing. You keep forgiving, and they keep repeating the same behavior. You keep giving, and they keep taking. At some point, you have to stop and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why are you so afraid to disappoint people? Why are you so afraid to say no? Why do you feel guilty for protecting your own time? Why do you think having boundaries makes you a bad person? It doesn't. It makes you an adult who understands that your life has limits. Your time has limits. Your energy has limits. Your attention has limits. Your money has limits. Your emotional capacity has limits. You cannot give endlessly, and you shouldn't. Because every yes you give to something unnecessary is potentially a no to something important. Every hour you spend trying to solve someone else's problems may be an hour you could have spent building your own future. Every time you abandon your priorities to please someone else, you're teaching yourself that their needs matter more than yours. Stop teaching yourself that. You matter too. Your goals matter. Your peace matters. Your responsibilities matter. Your future matters. And you don't have to feel guilty about that. Being kind doesn't mean sacrificing yourself every time someone asks for something. You can help people without becoming responsible for their entire life. You can care about someone without fixing everything for them. You can love someone without allowing them to disrespect you. You can forgive someone without giving them the same access again. You can understand someone's situation without accepting their bad behavior. That's maturity. And here's something you're going to have to accept. Some people will call you selfish when you finally stop being useful to them. Let them. If someone only thinks you're a good person when you say yes, they don't love your character, they love your availability. If someone gets angry because you finally established a boundary, the boundary probably needed to exist. If someone disappears because you stopped doing everything for them, they may have been attached to what you provided, not who you were. That's painful to realize, but it's useful information. Don't chase them. Don't beg them to understand. Don't write a long explanation. Don't convince them you're still a good person. Let your actions speak. You don't need everyone to approve of your boundaries. And that's one of the hardest lessons you'll learn. You can be a good person and still disappoint people. You can be a good person and say no. You can be a good person and walk away. You can be a good person and stop answering immediately. You can be a good person and protect your privacy. You can be a good person and refuse to lend money. You can be a good person and end a relationship. You can be a good person and choose yourself. You don't need to destroy your peace to prove that you have a good heart. And stop explaining every no. No is a complete sentence. You don't always need a dramatic reason. You don't need to write 3 paragraphs. You don't need to create an excuse. You can simply say, I can't do that. I don't have time That doesn't work for me. I'm not comfortable with that. I've decided not to. That's enough. And yes, some people will be surprised because they've gotten used to the version of you who always says yes. They got used to your flexibility, your availability, your forgiveness, your patience, your silence, your generosity. So when you change, they'll notice. They might say, you're different. And you know what? Maybe you are. Maybe you're finally becoming someone who respects themselves. Maybe you're finally learning that kindness without boundaries is an invitation for certain people to take advantage. Maybe you're finally realizing that your life cannot be built around everyone's expectations. Let them notice you don't have to go backward just because someone is uncomfortable with your growth. And don't become obsessed with being understood. People who benefit from your lack of boundaries may never understand your boundaries. That's okay. You don't need their permission. You need your own clarity. And here's another thing. Stop telling everyone everything. Being nice doesn't mean being completely open. You don't need to tell everyone your plans. You don't need to explain your financial situation. You don't need to tell everyone what you're struggling with. You don't need to tell everyone what you're working toward. Privacy is not secrecy. It's wisdom. Some things are better built quietly. Some goals need protection from unnecessary opinions. Some relationships need privacy. Some struggles need to be handled away from an audience. You don't have to make your entire life accessible to everyone, because not everyone who asks genuinely cares. Some people ask because they're curious. Some ask because they compare. Some ask because they want information they can later use. Learn to recognize the difference. You can be friendly without being completely open. You can be polite without becoming familiar. You can respect people without trusting them immediately. Trust should be earned. And that's where many people make a mistake. They meet someone. The person is friendly. They immediately tell them everything. They immediately trust them. They immediately give them access. Then later they wonder why they got hurt. Slow down. Let people reveal themselves. Watch consistency. Watch how they treat people who can't benefit them. Watch how they respond when you say no. Watch how they handle your success. Watch whether they respect your boundaries. Watch whether they keep your private conversations private. That's how you learn someone's character. Not through their words, through their patterns. And if someone gets angry every time you say no, pay attention. That's not love, that's entitlement. If someone only contacts you when they need something, pay attention. If someone constantly makes you feel guilty for having boundaries, pay attention. If someone uses your kindness as an excuse to demand more, pay attention. You don't need to become bitter. You need to become aware. There's a difference. Don't let bad experiences turn you into a bad person. Let them turn you into a wiser person. Stay kind, but stop being naive. Stay generous, but stop being easily manipulated. Stay respectful, but stop tolerating disrespect. Stay loving, but stop abandoning yourself. That's the balance. Because the goal isn't to become someone who doesn't care. The goal is to care without losing yourself. And sometimes caring about someone means telling them the truth, not telling them what they want to hear. If your friend is making a terrible decision, you don't have to cheer just to be nice. Tell them the truth respectfully. If someone is treating you badly, don't smile and pretend everything is fine. Address it. If someone keeps crossing the same boundary, stop giving endless warnings. Change your behavior, because boundaries aren't speeches. Boundaries are actions. You can tell someone, don't speak to me like that. But if they continue, you have to act. End the conversation, leave the room, reduce contact, whatever is appropriate. Otherwise, your boundary is only a request, and people learn what they can get away with. You teach people how to treat you through what you repeatedly tolerate. If you constantly accept disrespect, some people will keep disrespecting you. If you constantly answer at any hour, some people will assume you're always available. If you constantly rescue people from their consequences, some people will never learn responsibility. If you constantly forgive without change, some people will keep repeating the same behavior. Stop rewarding behavior you want to stop. That's not cruelty, that's accountability. And you need to stop feeling responsible for everyone's feelings. Someone is disappointed because you said no, they'll survive. Someone is annoyed because you have other priorities, they'll survive. someone doesn't like your decision, they'll survive. You are not responsible for making every person comfortable. Your responsibility is to behave with integrity. Be honest, be respectful, be fair. Then let people feel whatever they feel. You can't control that. And if you're always trying to manage other people's emotions, you'll lose control of your own life. You will become exhausted because there is no finish line. Someone will always want something. Someone will always need something. Someone will always have an opinion. Someone will always be disappointed. You cannot satisfy everyone. So stop trying. Choose your values. Choose your priorities. Choose your boundaries. Then live according to them. And here's the part nobody tells you. When you stop being overly nice, some relationships may disappear. That's okay, because some relationships were built around your lack of boundaries. And when the boundaries appear, the relationship changes. Don't panic. Let it. The right people will adjust. The wrong people will complain. That's useful. It tells you who belongs close to you. And if someone leaves because you started respecting yourself, don't chase them. You didn't lose the right person. You lost a relationship that required you to be smaller than you are. Let it go. Your future requires space, and you can't carry everyone with you. Sometimes growth means becoming less available to things that drain you, less available to drama, less available to gossip, less available to unnecessary arguments, less available to people who only call when they need something, less available to constant negativity, less available to distractions, and more available to yourself, more available to your goals, more available to your family, more available to your health, more available to your work, more available to your future. That's not selfish, that's prioritization. You don't have to feel guilty for having priorities. And don't let people convince you that being nice means never saying no. A truly kind person can say no. A mature person can say no. A loving person can say no. A respectful person can say no. In fact, sometimes saying no is the most honest thing you can do, because saying yes when you don't mean it creates resentment. You say yes, then you become frustrated, then you become angry, then you start blaming the other person. But you agreed. You could have said no. Learn to be honest early. It prevents resentment later. If you don't want to go, say no. If you can't help, say no. If you're too tired, say no. If it conflicts with something important, say no. If it violates your values, say no. And don't apologize for having a life. You can be polite, but don't be apologetic for existing. There's a difference between sorry, I can't, and I can't make it. Both are okay. But don't say sorry for every boundary. You're not doing something wrong. You're simply choosing. And maybe you need to hear this. You don't have to earn the right to rest. You don't have to be productive every second. You don't have to be available every second. You don't have to answer every message immediately. You don't have to solve everyone's problems. Sometimes you need to step back, be quiet, recharge, think. That's part of taking care of yourself, because if you constantly give from an empty tank, eventually you have nothing left, and then you're no good to yourself or anyone else. So protect your energy. Not everyone deserves the same amount of it. And remember, being less available doesn't make you less loving. Being more selective doesn't make you less kind. Having boundaries doesn't make you difficult. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. Walking away doesn't make you heartless. Choosing yourself doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you someone who finally understands your own value. And when you understand your value, you stop begging people to recognize it. You stop chasing. You stop over-explaining. You stop proving. You stop trying to convince people to treat you better. You simply change your access. That's power. So don't become cruel. Become clear. Don't become cold. Become disciplined. Don't stop caring. Stop overgiving. Don't stop loving. Stop abandoning yourself. Don't stop helping. Stop rescuing people from every consequence. Don't stop trusting. Just let trust be earned. Don't stop being kind. Just stop being afraid of saying no. Because the world doesn't need another person who is nice to everyone while secretly resenting themselves. It needs people who are kind and strong, compassionate and disciplined, generous and wise, loving and boundaried. That's who you should become. Someone who can walk into a room and be respectful without needing approval. Someone who can say no without guilt. Someone who can leave without revenge. Someone who can help without being used. Someone who can love without losing themselves. Someone who can forgive without forgetting the lesson. Someone who can remain good without allowing people to walk all over them. That's strength. And once you develop that strength, you won't need to announce it. People will feel it. They'll notice that you're different. You don't react to every comment. You don't chase every person. You don't answer every demand. You don't explain every decision. You don't tolerate everything. You don't need everyone to like you. You're calm, you're focused, you're respectful. But you're no longer easily controlled. That's the goal. Not to become someone nobody can approach. Become someone nobody can easily manipulate. And remember this, kindness is a strength when you choose it. But people-pleasing is a weakness when fear chooses it for you. So from today, be kind because you want to be kind. Help because you choose to help. Give because you genuinely want to give. Say yes when you mean yes. Say no when you mean no. And stop confusing guilt with responsibility. You don't owe everyone access to you. You don't owe everyone an explanation. You don't owe everyone your time. You don't owe everyone your energy. And you certainly don't owe anyone the destruction of your peace. Your life is yours. Your time is yours. Your future is yours. Protect it. Because sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself is stop being so nice to people who keep taking advantage of your kindness. Stay good, stay kind, stay human, but have boundaries, have standards, have a backbone, and never sacrifice yourself just to keep someone else comfortable. And once you understand that, you start seeing people differently. Not with suspicion, not with hatred, but with clarity. You stop asking, how can I make everyone happy? And you start asking, what is right for me? That's a powerful shift, because for a long time you may have been living according to other people's expectations. You say yes because they expect yes. You stay because they expect you to stay. You help because they expect you to help. You forgive because they expect you to forgive. You remain available because they expect you to be available. But where are you in all of this? Where are your goals? Where is your peace? Where is your time? Where is your energy? Where's your life? You can't spend your entire existence managing everyone else's comfort. At some point, you have to take responsibility for your own. And that doesn't mean becoming selfish. It means understanding that your needs are real too. You have responsibilities to yourself. You have promises you've made to yourself. You have dreams that require your attention. You have a future that needs your effort. And every time you constantly abandon those things to please someone else, you're making a decision. You're choosing their temporary comfort over your long-term growth. Stop doing that, because people can become comfortable with your sacrifice. They can get used to you always being available. They can get used to you solving their problems. They can get used to you forgiving everything, and when you finally stop, they may act like you became the problem. Don't believe it. You didn't become the problem. You simply stopped being convenient. And that's an important distinction. Some people don't miss you. They miss what you did for them. Some people don't miss your presence. They miss your availability. Some people don't miss your kindness. They miss the benefits they receive from it. That's why you have to pay attention to what happens when you say no. Your no reveals people. A genuine person might be disappointed, but they'll respect it. A manipulative person will try to make you feel guilty. They'll say, you're selfish. You've changed. You used to help me. I thought you cared. Why can't you just do this one thing? Don't automatically defend yourself. Sometimes the guilt is the strategy. You don't need to prove that you care. You can care and still say no. You can love someone and still have boundaries. You can understand someone's struggle and still refuse to carry it for them. That's something people need to learn. Compassion doesn't require self-destruction. You can give someone a hand without carrying them forever. You can encourage someone without becoming responsible for their choices. You can support someone without sacrificing your own future. That's healthy. And if someone gets angry because you stopped rescuing them, let them be angry. Their anger doesn't mean your boundary is wrong. Sometimes people become upset when the benefits disappear. Don't confuse their discomfort with your wrongdoing. And here's another thing. Stop trying to convince everyone that you're a good person. You don't need to. Good character is shown through consistency, not through explanations. If you know you acted with integrity, that's enough. You don't need to run around proving it. Let people misunderstand you. Let people gossip. Let people make assumptions. You can't control every story people tell about you. What you can control is your behavior. Be honest, keep your word, treat people fairly, respect yourself, respect others. Then keep moving. Your reputation will take care of itself over time. And if someone believes something false about you, you don't have to chase them down. Sometimes silence is more powerful than an explanation, because the more desperate you become to prove yourself, the more power you give the person judging you. Don't. Know yourself. That's enough. And stop giving everyone access to your emotions. Someone says something negative. You don't have to immediately feel negative. Someone doesn't respond. You don't have to assume they hate you. Someone criticizes you. You don't have to become defensive. Someone disagrees. You don't have to take it personally. You can listen, you can consider it, and then decide. That's emotional maturity. Not every opinion deserves a place inside your mind. Some opinions are useful, some are noise. Learn the difference. And you can learn that by asking, does this person know me? Do they understand the situation? Do they have experience in what they're criticizing? Are they trying to help me? Or are they simply trying to feel superior? Not every voice deserves equal weight. Be selective about whose advice you carry, because if you listen to everyone, you'll lose your own direction. One person says go left, another says go right, another says don't go anywhere, another says you're not capable, another says you're doing too much, another says you're not doing enough. Eventually, you don't know what you believe anymore. That's why you need your own values. Know what matters to you. Know what you're building. Know what you will and won't tolerate. Then make decisions from that foundation, not from fear, not from guilt, not from pressure, and definitely not from the need to be liked. Because chasing approval is exhausting, and it never ends. You make one person happy, another person is disappointed. You satisfy one expectation, another appears. You say yes to one request, another comes. There is no finish line, so stop running. You don't need everyone to approve of your life. You need to respect your own decisions. And yes, sometimes respecting yourself means disappointing someone. That's okay. You are allowed to disappoint people. They are allowed to be disappointed. You can both survive that. Their feelings are theirs. Your decisions are yours. And that doesn't mean you ignore how your choices affect people. Consider others. Be thoughtful. But don't make other people's emotions the steering wheel of your life. That's the difference. And you need to stop apologizing for every boundary. If you need space, take it. If you're tired, rest. If you don't want to attend, decline. If you don't want to discuss something, say so. If someone crosses a line, address it. If a relationship is unhealthy, leave. You don't need a committee meeting to decide what's best for your life. And sometimes you'll make the wrong decision. That's okay. You don't need perfect boundaries, you need honest ones. You can adjust, you can learn, you can communicate, you can apologize if necessary. But don't live in constant fear of making someone unhappy, because that fear will make you easy to control. And you don't want to be controlled by guilt. You want to be guided by values. There's a big difference. Guilt says, say yes or they'll be upset. Values say, be honest about what you can actually do. Guilt says, stay because they'll be hurt. Values say, do what's healthy and respectful. Guilt says, keep giving. Values say, give when you genuinely can. Guilt says, prove you're a good person. Values say, live like one. That's the mindset. And there's another lesson you need to learn. Don't reward disrespect with more access. If someone repeatedly disrespects you, don't respond by trying harder to earn their respect. Step back. If someone constantly ignores your boundaries, don't create longer explanations. Create distance. If someone repeatedly breaks your trust, don't keep handing them more opportunities to break it. You don't need to punish them. You simply need to protect yourself. Sometimes the most mature response is, that's enough. No drama, no revenge, no public announcement, just a decision. And decisions change lives. You don't need to tell everyone you're cutting someone off. Just stop giving them access. You don't need to announce that you're focusing on yourself. Focus. You don't need to tell everyone you're becoming disciplined. Become disciplined. You don't need to announce your boundaries. Live them. Let your behavior communicate. And that's when you become powerful, because you're no longer performing strength. You're living it. And you'll notice something. The less you explain, the more peaceful you become. The less you chase, the more confident you become. The less you seek approval, the more comfortable you become with yourself. The less you tolerate, the more people respect your boundaries. The less you react, the more control you have. That's the transformation. And don't worry if your circle becomes smaller. A smaller circle isn't always loneliness. Sometimes it's peace. You don't need 10 people who drain you. You need a few people who respect you. You don't need constant conversation. You need genuine connection. You don't need people around you all the time. You need people you can trust when they are around. Quality over quantity, always. And if you find yourself alone for a while, use that time. Build yourself. Read, learn, exercise, work, reflect, create, travel if you can. Develop skills. Get your finances together. Improve your health. Work on your mindset. Become someone you enjoy being. Because the more comfortable you become with yourself, the less desperate you become for other people's approval. And desperation makes people tolerate things they shouldn't. When you're afraid of being alone, you'll accept bad relationships. When you're afraid of rejection, you'll say yes when you mean no. When you're afraid of criticism, you'll hide your opinions. When you're afraid of losing people, you'll tolerate disrespect. Fear creates weak boundaries. Self-respect creates strong ones. So build self-respect. Keep promises to yourself. Do what you say you're going to do. Stop betraying yourself. If you say you're leaving, leave. If you say you're going to stop procrastinating, stop. If you say you're going to focus, focus. If you say you're done chasing, stop chasing. Every promise you keep to yourself strengthens your identity. You start trusting yourself. And when you trust yourself, you don't need constant reassurance from other people. You know, I'll be okay, even if they leave, even if they disagree, even if they don't understand, even if they don't approve, you'll be okay. That's freedom. And don't become afraid of kindness because you've been taken advantage of. Some people will misuse your kindness. That doesn't mean kindness is weakness. It means you need discernment. Keep your heart, strengthen your boundaries. Don't let one bad experience turn you into someone you don't recognize. You can still help people. You can still smile. You can still care. You can still be generous. You just don't have to give blindly. You don't have to give endlessly. You don't have to give to people who repeatedly take without appreciation. Be intentional. And sometimes the best way to help someone is to stop helping them. Let them face consequences. Let them learn. Let them become responsible. If you constantly save someone, you may be preventing them from growing. That's not kindness. That's dependency. You don't want relationships built on dependency. You want relationships built on mutual respect. Both people give. Both people communicate. Both people take responsibility. Both people have boundaries. Both people can say no. Both people can say yes. That's healthy. And if a relationship only works when you are constantly sacrificing, it isn't balanced. Ask yourself, would this relationship survive if I stopped overgiving? If the answer is no, that's information. Don't be afraid of the answer. Use it. And here's the final thing I want you to understand. You don't need to become hard to become strong. You need to become grounded. You don't need to become cold. You need to become clear. You don't need to stop loving. You need to stop losing yourself in love. You don't need to stop helping. You need to stop rescuing everyone. You don't need to stop trusting. You need to stop trusting blindly. You don't need to stop being nice. You need to stop being nice out of fear. That's the difference. Be kind because kindness reflects your character. Not because you're scared someone will leave. Help because you genuinely want to. Not because you need to feel needed. Give because you can. Not because you want approval. Say yes because you mean it. Not because you're afraid of saying no. Apologize when you're wrong. Not because someone pressured you. Stay when it's healthy. Leave when it's not. That's self-respect. And when you live like this, something changes. You stop being available to everything. You become intentional with your time. You become selective with your relationships. You become careful with your words. You become protective of your peace. You become comfortable saying no. You become comfortable walking away. You become comfortable being misunderstood. And most importantly, you become comfortable with yourself. That's where your power is. Not in controlling people, not in getting revenge, not in making everyone respect you, not in proving everyone wrong. Your power is in controlling yourself, your choices, your boundaries, your attention, your energy, your response, your direction. So don't become cruel, become wise. Don't become arrogant, become confident. Don't become selfish, become self-respecting. Don't become cold, become emotionally disciplined. Don't stop being a good person. Stop allowing your goodness to become a weakness. You can have a soft heart and a strong backbone. You can care deeply and still say no. You can love people and still walk away. You can forgive and still remember the lesson. You can be generous and still have limits. You can be respectful and still refuse disrespect. That's the balance. And from today, stop asking, how can I make everyone happy? Start asking, how can I live with integrity? Because you cannot make everyone happy, but you can live honestly. You can live with self-respect. You can live according to your values. You can protect your peace. You can build your future, and you can become someone you are proud to be. So if people say you've changed, maybe they're right. Maybe you have. Maybe you've stopped being the person who constantly sacrifices themselves. Maybe you've stopped saying yes to everything. Maybe you've stopped explaining every decision. Maybe you've stopped chasing people. Maybe you've stopped tolerating disrespect. Maybe you finally learned your worth. Don't apologize for that. Keep growing, keep learning, keep your kindness, but add boundaries. Keep your compassion, but add discernment. Now keep your heart, but strengthen your backbone. Because the goal was never to become someone who doesn't care. The goal is to become someone who knows what deserves your care. And when you learn that, your life changes. You become calmer, you become happier, you become more focused, you become more respected, and you stop living for everyone else. You finally start living your own life. So remember this. Don't be nice just to be liked. Be good because that's who you choose to be. Don't say yes because you're afraid. Say yes because you mean it. Don't tolerate disrespect to keep someone. Walk away when you need to. Don't sacrifice your peace for approval. Protect it. Don't become cold. Become strong. Don't lose your kindness. Lose your fear of saying no. And never forget, a good heart needs a strong boundary around it. Be kind, be respectful, be generous, but never again confuse being a good person with allowing people to use you. You can be a good person without being available to everyone. You can love people without losing yourself. And you can choose yourself without becoming selfish.